All right, so this is question number 3, and I'm going to start with the formula that we're going to be using for this question. So we're going to be using the square root property. All right, so what is the square root property? It says if I have x squared equals to a, all right, this is going to imply that x, it could be equals to either plus or minus square root of a. All right, so this formula is used for both complex numbers, for negative number and positive numbers, right? So if it is for positive numbers, it can be real solution. If it is for negative numbers, it will be complex solution, right? Complex numbers. Now, the question is straightforward. They are asking for the x-intercepts and the y-intercepts. So we're going to start with the x-intercepts here. And here we're going to do the y-intercepts. They're pretty much the same principle, so you just have to remember the formula. So if you are looking for the x-intercept or intercepts, right? So the formula is you can apply or equivalent that the y will be equals to 0, all right? So this is your property. So now what you're going to be doing with y equals 0, you can take the same equation that you had before and you're going to substitute y by 0. So you see the y is over here. So if I substitute 0 by this, all this entity going to disappear. The yellow, the highlighted in yellow, is going to disappear completely. So this will become 0. All right. So the equation will become 64 x squared, all right, equals to 25. Now, if I want to isolate the x squared would be equals to 25 divided by 64. And here we're going to be using the square root property, right? So this is going to give you x going to be plus or minus the square root of 25 over 64. And this is obviously you square root both of them. You're going to be plus or minus 5 over 8. All right. So now, then what are the x-intercepts? All right. So the x-intercept would be, so the x-intercept would be 2 of them. All right. So remember, we have 2 values for the x's. All right. So they are the 2 values for the x's here. So what you're going to do is you're going to take one of them is negative 5 over 8, comma, and the other one is going to be 5 over 8 and comma. All right. So now what will be the value of the y? And obviously the value of the y would be this one. All right. Y equals 0 for both scenarios. So you're going to go ahead and you put 0 in here and 0 in here. And that's basically the solution. All right. So that's all. So we have 2 x-intercepts. All right. Now, moving on with the other one, we're going to do exactly the same thing. So the definition of the y-intercept is, all right, equivalent that x will be equals to 0. Okay. And let me box it. So this is your formula that you're going to be starting with. So now, once you have that, you're going to go to the x's and you substitute the x by 0. If it is 0 here, everything here will become 0. All right. So I have a big 0 here. Now, whatever left is my equation is 81 y squared equals to 25. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing. So I'm going to isolate the y squared first. It's going to be 25 divided by 81. And then the square root property right now. And this is going to be y equals to plus or minus square root of 25 over 81. And this is obviously going to be 5 over 9 and plus or minus, right? So now going back and looking for the points. So the points they are obviously because 2 y-intercepts, you get 2 points. And those points are the y values, right? So this is the two values of the y's, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to put one of them minus 5 over 9 and the other one 5 over 9. And again, you're going to go to the value of the x, which is 0 along this exercise, right? So you're going to plug in 0 here and 0 here. and these are your two y-intercepts.